Whangarei welcomes drivers in the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. 18 stages over 3 days, including a spectator special on Friday night in the centre of Whangarei City. Hayden Padden leads the field after his victory at round 1, Rally Otago.
But it's going to be awesome conditions for rallying. It's going to be great for the spectators and enjoyable for all us as well. But yeah, for sure there'll be some sweeping. There's an element of that I actually enjoy because we can make our own line and use all the road. So that part's good. But of course, yeah, we'll lose a bit of performance. But all in all, looking forward to the challenge. We've got to focus on trying to maximise the weekend and trying to get maximum points. So that means there's a focus on the power stage for us. There's a focus on all the bonus points for each day. So it's about trying to take a measured approach to do that. And that's what we've got to deliver on this weekend. Records are normally a personal thing of mine, but I think more so this year it's actually about collecting points and necessarily records. But easy said than saying that right now. When I get in the car and put on the helmet, it's always a bit of a different story.
Ben Hunt had a successful debut in his WRC2 Skoda at Otago. It's a long way from his championship debut back in 2009 as winner of the Rising Stars Scholarship.
I had a little Toyota Starlet, 2008 I think it was, and a few of Dad's mates. Obviously Dad rallied in the 70s and 80s in the escorts and that, and they were trying to talk me into going to the scholarship, Rally New Zealand Rising Stars Scholarship, and I thought, what a waste of time. I've only done one event and a couple of hill climbs I think with Gabby, and there's no point going, but I got pestered too much and decided that I should go and do it, and that I'd go up there to do it just to get some experience, and ended up winning the bloody thing. So definitely without doing that scholarship I wouldn't be where I am. I could have maybe battled through and got sort of here, but it just, I learned so much in a year that, it's invaluable, that was awesome.
Jack Hawkswood was lucky to be at the event, having been hospitalised with a gastro infection earlier in the week.
I got a bit sick and spent a few days bed resting. I was meant to do a rally sprint, but I had to miss that. And then it started to get quite bad, so I went to A&E and they pretty much sent me straight to hospital with quite a lot wrong with me. But I've managed to make a miraculous recovery. I think it was when I found out that Dad was going to be driving my car. Bolted up here and here I am. I've just here to bag points, just try and have a good rally and just bag some points and see where we go from there.
16 four-wheel drive contenders would line up for the start on the beautiful Te Mato Aupōi Bridge, which crosses the Whangarei Harbour alongside the Poe Island Super Special Stage. And for the first time in the championship, the field is entirely made up of FIA R5 and AP4 homologated rally cars. There'll be plenty of competition from the R5s of Rana Horan and Todd Borden, but disaster for Robbie Stokes. One of the fastest AP4 contenders was left stranded at the start when his engine would not fire up. Hadden wasted no time in leading the 2 special stages at night. Rana Horan and Jack Hawkswood just 0.4 apart on the first run. But it was Ben Hunt who would move into second on the next run through the stage, Matt Summerfield in third. Saturday morning started with service in Whangarei before heading north for 4 stages, repeated twice. But Emma Gilmore heading no further when a sensor failed as she was in the refuel zone. Stage 3, Helena, run in reverse this year, conditions dry and dusty with a possibility of sunstrike. Hadden already holding a 7.5 second lead from Friday night, looking to extend this and claim a new stage record.
50. Max 6 left, 60, half, 4 right minus, don't. Flat left, 40, half 3 left open.
So Paddon sets a new stage record for this configuration at 9 minutes 57.6. Next up, Ben Hunt. How would the Rally 2 car stack up against the Hyundai AP4?
And what we have are two very similar but very different beasts. The AP4 car is the Kiwi can-do version of these R5 cars, which are factory-developed rally cars.
Well, I've driven the other R5s. I've tested some of their cars, and they're actually, a lot of those cars have got more power down low. It's all very relevant. I'm actually looking forward to when we get our new car into New Zealand, because I think we'll be able to go faster than what we can with this car. This is a well-sought car, but you can't beat a factory car at the end of the day. So I think all the parity questions, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. We always try and put our best foot forward. You know, this is my job, it's my profession. We've got a really good team. You know, we've got a lot of emphasis on setup and how we prepare for events, and for me that's what shows through in the results, not necessarily the car and machinery. So you've only got to look back to Rally Otago 2015 if you're going to start talking about car parity.
Hunt 14 seconds down on Paddon.
Ben, you like these roads a little more than South Island? How did you find it?
Yeah, they're quite a bit different than Otago, that's for sure, but yeah, it's so nimble, this car. It's awesome through there. Obviously there's probably a lot left in it because first time on a road like that, but yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, just dream, a lot easier.
Rana Horan spun in the stage, so dropped to 14th overall. But a stonking drive by Kingsley Jones, third fastest on the stage and now up to 4th place.
This is a rally that Kingsley always loves, but look at that sunstrike that he's copping. That's going to be a real challenge early on in the morning. Throwing a bit of dust there too. Man, it's big commitment to produce that sort of time. Oh, serious commitment.
Matt Summerfield held third, and after a disappointing round 1, this was a real confidence boost to the Canterbury driver. The stage also saw two South Island drivers sharing 5th overall. Ari Pettigrew had been 1.2 seconds ahead of Josh Marston after the night stages. Of course, both are driving Holden Barina AP4 cars. Josh getting the better of Ari in the stage and pulling level. And Jack Hawkswood just a couple of seconds behind in the Yaris AP4. But disaster for Todd Borden when his gearbox had issues, sending him back to the workshop after just 3 stages.
And that results to a frustrating start for Todd in what's a factory-built car, effectively brand new. To break down already is very disappointing.
Conditions remained fine over the morning and sunstrike lessened for the drivers. Paddon continued to lead, slowly edging out a gap on the field.
You can see from the spectacular drone shots, perhaps not as bad on the gravel in this section as we thought it might have been. Gives us a great chance to see one of the world's best on one of the world's best bits of road.
Hunt, though, was facing a challenge from behind. While the Skoda driver was making good progress, behind him Josh Marston was relishing his new tyres.
As we go on board, look at the way he can just carry the gears. He's not working the gearbox hard. That car's just beautifully drivable, and the commitment in what's only a second event in the car is very impressive. Look out as he gets used to this car throughout the season.
Marston had changed tyre brands last year and found the extra grip was allowing him to push harder, beating Hunt on stage 4 and closing the gap to 16 seconds by stage 5. Pettigrew just 11 seconds further back in the other Barina. Matt Summerfield and Kingsley Jones both pushed out of the top 4 by the 2 battling Barinas. But it was close, with 50 seconds separating 5th to 10th. Jack Hawkswood holding 7th in the Toyota. Phil Campbell, the first Ford Fiesta, in 8th. But he was under pressure from the Skoda of Rana Horan. That spin in stage 3 had really hurt Horan's chances. Now he was on a charge back to the top 5. And behind him, a trio of Mazdas from the Force Motorsport camp. Matt Jensen just 7 seconds behind Horan after stage 5, having a clean run after his Otago misfortunes. But Glenn Inkster had damaged his suspension on stage 3 and was continuing after roadside repairs. That had put him behind the Mazda of Duncan McCrosty.
Long at 7 right.
Duncan's really stepped up his pace in 2022. He had a great season first time out in the Mazda, and his pace is really increasing. He's right on the back of the front end of the field now.
5 left, 5 left, 30. Long 5 left minus, 4 right. 4 right. 30. 7 left minus.
Brian Green, the final of the runners, just a few seconds behind Inkster. Hayden Padden would end the morning stages with a lead of 1 minute 43, but the pace had been slower than in 2021, Padden failing to break any of his previous stage records over the morning.
That's not to be unexpected, as those times from 2021 will be on the second pass when all that gravel has swept away.
Hunt was still best of the rest, staying in second, just 10 seconds ahead of Marston.
And for Ben, this is left-hand drive. This is the first season in a left-hand drive car. He'd hardly even driven a left-hand drive road car before we turned up in Otago. So the whole judgment doesn't seem to be phasing him, which is pretty impressive.
Marston had stretched the gap to Pettigrew to 19 seconds. Kingsley Jones in 5th to cap off a great morning for the Auckland driver.
So it's Padden who's in control, but that battle between Hunt, Marston, Pettigrew and Jones, all less than 50 seconds apart, everything to play for across the afternoon.
Next up, it's the power stage and a chance for bonus points.
20.
Welcome back to round 2 of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. This is Rally Whangarei. Stage 7, Helena 2, would be the power stage, with up to 5 bonus points available, and that would see both Robbie Stokes and Emma Gilmore return to the stage. Conditions on the stage better than the morning, with sunstrike gone and the gravel road well swept. Padden's time in the morning was 9 minutes 57, but this afternoon he set a new record of 9:33.7.
Fast half 4 left minus. Straightens.
And that's a huge, almost 2 seconds a kilometre. You can see just how much that cleaning effect
100.
takes place.
Slow shorts, 3 right.
Ben Hunt was overzealous at the very first corner, overshooting to a runoff, having to turn the car back on the road. He was lucky to hold on to second place, but was outside the points for the power stage.
First corner, I went straight through the tape, and the K4s weren't obviously hot enough, so yeah, probably, I don't know how much time we lost, but managed to flick around the right and get going, but a bit of a balls up.
It was Robbie Stokes who would take the 4 points for second on the stage, but that was all he could do for the day.
20. Half 4 left narrows.
Oh, big moment there for Robbie. It was a big effort by the team, taking the car all the way back to Raglan to do some wiring work on it.
20. 6 left minus opens and short 6 left narrows. 6 right into 4 left hook. 20. Short 5 left at rail. Kia half 4 right minus narrows 20.
Josh Marston, third fastest, and now closing to 5.2 seconds behind Hunt in the battle for second. Ari Pettigrew only half a second slower through the stage in his Barina AP4. While Kingsley Jones would take the final point, fifth fastest in his Skoda. Emma Gilmore had started the stage well, but more issues arose later in the stage, and she would retire from the rally at this point. Hayden Padden continued to lead through the afternoon, but it was the battle for second which was heating up.
Just look at the way that Hayden's throwing this car around. You can absolutely lean on them through the camber. These roads are what the drivers all around the world love, and they're going to be fantastic training ground for Hayden as he moves into that WRC2 campaign later this year.
Josh Marston was 3.4 seconds faster than Hunt on stage 8.
And Josh has made a bit of an aggressive gamble on tyres, putting a cut in for the afternoon loop. It's not a usual move, but certainly it seems to be paying dividends.
Then on stage 9, Hunt was slower again by 11 seconds.
And not helping Hunt's cause was a right front puncture. Look at the way the car's sitting down on that right front corner, and he's just not throwing the car around like we'd expect to see Ben doing.
And that would drop him to third, 9.2 seconds behind the Barina of Marston. Ari Pettigrew holding on to fourth. Like the others in the top 5, his times had improved by 1 second a K over the morning run. Kingsley Jones having one of his best days with the Skoda R5, holding on to 5th place. But he had a hard-charging Rana Horan in 6th, closing the gap down to 5.8 seconds. Also close was the battle for 7th. Matt Summerfield had lost out to Horan on stage 8, but he held on to that through stage 9. Behind him, Jack Hawkswood another 8 seconds back.
And kudos to Jack. He didn't recce these stages. It was only the Thursday morning he was well enough to actually do the rally. While everyone else was out writing their notes, Jack was deciding that he actually might be able to compete. So this is a massively mature drive and a strong result with some good points, which is exactly what he was after. Certainly hasn't lost his flair though.
And Phil Campbell a further 8 seconds back in 9th place. Matt Jensen continued to lead the 3 Mazda AP4 cars and comfortably in the top 10. Behind him, Duncan McCrosty having a trouble-free run in 11th. Glen Inkster still suffering after the crash in stage 3, but holding on to 12th. A 2-minute 20 penalty for lateness, leaving service, had dropped Brian Green to 13th. So the day would finish with Paddon taking the top spot and claiming maximum bonus points for the day and the power stage.
Yeah, today's been actually quite a good day. It's been exactly that. It's been a lot of management. You still got to push. You got to, but here, in the morning you got a lot of gravel, and in the afternoon you got a clean line, and even in the afternoon you can't push beyond that limit. Otherwise you end up in the loose stuff. So it's managing the pace, managing the tyres. But all in all, the car's gone like clockwork. No issues at all. We've sort of pretty much stuck to our plan, and it's all worked out.
Josh Marston holding on to second, but Hunt closed the gap to just 0.3 seconds in an epic fight back over the final stage of the day.
Yeah, absolutely stoked to be here. Roads have been really good. A bit more tyre wear than we thought in the afternoon. Pace has been awesome. I got on the pace a lot quicker than I thought I would, to be fair. Blew the rust out in the first couple, and Dougie did a great job. The car's awesome. The team have done a fantastic job, and we pulled back. Ben had a couple of issues, which is unfortunate, and we pulled a wee lead on him going into the last one, and then our tyres went off, so we only just hang on. So we'll take it. That's motor racing.
Another fine performance from Ari Pettigrew to claim 4th place.
Really happy with it to be sitting where we are. It's been an awesome day, and me and Jace have worked awesome on the car, so no moments, so it's been really good.
And Rana Horan, driver of the day to claim 5th on the final stage, a great comeback from 10th after stage 3.
So maximum points for Hayden Paddon, but again that battle for 2nd through to 6th. Josh Marston, Ben Hunt, less than a second between them. Ari Pettigrew not too far behind. Rana Horan's charging forward, and Kingsley Jones is right in the mix.
Coming up, we check out the Rally Challenge 4-wheel drive class. And I try my hand at writing some pace notes.
30.
Welcome back to round 2 of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship.
So I've always wondered what it's going to be like to be in the co-driver's seat. I'm going to get first-hand experience. Darren Galbraith, former NZRC competitor, to take me around Poe Island. Enjoy.
Right, you ready, Budgie?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay.
Start.
Right, you can count me down.
5, 4, 3, 2, go.
All right. Flat 6 left. 30. Flat K left. 50. Flat over jump.
Hang time.
Gear, brake. 4 right tightens to 3. Into flat 6 left. 30. 4 right opens, go. 30. Here they go with 5 right opens over flat jump. 50. Flat 6 right hug. 30. Care 6 left. Long tightens to 5 opens. 50, flat K left. 30. 6 right opens, go. 100. It's a long 6 left. Tightens to 5 late. 30. Flat 6 left. Finish. How'd you go?
Yeah. We're good for about maybe 2 corners there. 2 corners, you're going to have to wing it.
All right. Sounds good.
Well, there you go, folks. A lot easier in watching on TV than it is doing it inside the car. I had no idea whether we were going left or right half the time. That was a bit of the scribble that I managed to get down. So let's run through this quickly. You tell me if you can understand any of that scribble. Flat, 6 left. I think it's 20. Flats, and then I've got a whole lot of scribble. Left, 50. Flat over jump, maybe. Brake, 4 rights, and then more scribble. I think we'd be in trouble if we were competing.
we would definitely be in trouble. At the end of the day, it's only you that needs to be reading it though, so.
I don't think John Kennard's in any trouble.
No, pretty hard to argue, Budgie. I don't think you would be giving up your day job, mate.
9 cars would start round 2 of the Rally Challenge, held on day 1 of Rally Whangarei. Hayden McKenzie had his Evo 9 Mitsubishi, while his Yaris AP4 is being finished. He led the field after the night stages, but lost the lead to the Subaru of David Sievers on Saturday morning. Sievers was second at the first round in Otago and was in a head-to-head battle with McKenzie, edging ahead by 8.6 seconds at the lunch break. A heavy crash at Jack's Ridge in 2020 had left Clint Cunningham with a total rebuild of the Proto Fiesta. He was third in the morning, but retired at the start of the stage 5 with a fuel pump issue. Warwick Redford also returning in his Evo 8, but he also retired after special stage 4. So Bryn Smith taking third place through to the lunch break. Steve Cox having his second outing in a Magnum H6 Subaru, holding on to 4th position ahead of the similar car of Amy Keeley. Keeley showing noticeably faster pace in her second season of campaigning in H6 with new co-driver Ben Trevelyan. Simon Bell was the top Group A contender in his Subaru Legacy.
Doesn't that car just sound fantastic?
In the power stage, Hayden McKenzie took the win and the 5 points. David Sievers still held a narrow lead but had to settle for second on the stage. Bryn Smith would come in third place. Steve Cox would take 2 points for 4th. And Simon Bell just edging out Amy Keeley for the final point. On stage 9, Amy Keeley just ran off the road and she was lucky not to roll here. Steve Cox was out with a broken gearbox. Sievers and McKenzie continued to swap stage times, the gap never more than 10 seconds. But on the final stage, McKenzie took the win by half a second. Wasn't enough. Sievers would take the day win by 9.4 seconds.
And this battle was one of the absolute highlights of the rally. They were absolutely toing and froing.
Bryn Smith with a solid drive coming home in third. With Amy Keeley finishing 4th and final finisher after Simon Bell stopped in the final stage.
So confirming those Rally Challenge results, Dave Sievers, after a ding-dong battle, just holds out Hayden McKenzie. Great drive by Bryn Smith to 3rd and Amy Keeley in 4th place.
Dave, congratulations, mate. That was an epic battle between yourself and Hayden all day, and in the end you came out on top. How's that feel?
Oh, pretty awesome. Yeah, he had a massive good drive and so did we, and yeah, it was a good battle. Just want to thank Speed Hub for getting us here, keeping the car running good all day, and my service boys and my family for being here.
A top 10 result, I think, overall as well, beating some of the Cat 1 guys pretty consistently throughout the day. I mean, does it get much better than that?
Not really. And yeah, another thing is Noel. Thanks to Noel for the notes. It's perfect all day. Can't fault him. So yeah, it's been awesome.
Eight more stages on Sunday, this time using roads to the south of Whangarei. Up the grabs, day 2 bonus points, and the points for the overall rally finish. So an opportunity for Robbie Stokes and Emma Gilmore to start and compete for some bonus points. It was Hayden Padden into the lead again. The opening 2 stages were new configurations, and again it was Padden who had established the stage records.
Flat half, 5 right opens, 40. Tuck max 6
And that was despite this hair-raising moment. Ooh, he's lucky to get away with that.
Half 5 right over crest, 50.
And Sunday's roads are a totally different kettle of fish. They're south of Whangarei. The makeup, the base of the roads is different, the gravel's different, and it requires a whole different car setup and driver approach.
Robbie Stokes putting the frustration of Leg 1 behind him and immediately on pace to claim second spot for the day over the first 2 stages. But another short day for Emma Gilmore, stopping in the stage with broken power steering. Rana Horan looking for redemption, a chance to score top 3 day points and keep up his momentum in the overall rally.
Look at Rana using all the road there. He's never been shy, and this is the last time we'll see Rana in this car, and he wants to send it out with a great result.
Ben Hunt just 5.9 seconds behind Horan in day 2 standings, but still holding second place in the overall rally.
And it's a big balancing act. Obviously, every point counts, but Ben's got that battle going on with Josh Marston, and those bonus points aren't worth as much as the 22 points for second place that he's really focused on.
Josh Marston not finding the same pace that had seen him challenge Hunt on day 1. He was falling back into the clutches of Ari Pettigrew, and it was obvious that something was not right with the car. Pettigrew closing to under 2 seconds in the overall standings and 5th on day 2 standings. Matt Jensen having a much better day 2, the Mazda driver up to 6th on stage 12, moving past Matt Summerfield. But it was close, less than 2 seconds separating the 2 AP4 cars, and Phil Campbell in the AP4 Fiesta just 12 seconds behind them. Unfortunately, Kingsley Jones lost 11 minutes in stage 11 after finding yet another culvert, putting him out of contention after such a strong start on day 1.
3, 2, 1, go. Good stuff. 350.
Duncan McCrosty had an early exit, retiring on stage 12 with turbo
Small
failure.
crease, 7 left minus. No grunt. Right. Small crease, just check the gauges. Nah. 6 left into long 6 right.
We've got blue smoke. We'll pull over up here at this bridgey thing.
Okay.
Blue smoke is normally expensive smoke.
Glen Inkster, the remaining Mazda, and having a close battle for 10th with Force Motorsport teammate Jack Hawkswood.
You can see that Glen's definitely having a better Sunday. Great to see Brian Green still going strong. It's been a rough 12 months both on and off the stages for Greenie, and to see him progressing towards a rally finish is a sight for sore eyes.
While Paddon established a solid lead as they headed towards the lunch break, Robbie Stokes was positioned nicely in second with a 30-second buffer. It was Ben Hunt who made his move on stage 14 to take third place off Horan by 2.6 seconds. Matt Jensen had been passed for 6th by Matt Summerfield in a battle for position which would continue all day. And less than 17 seconds would separate the 8th place contenders, with Josh Marston regaining 8th place from Phil Campbell. Jack Hawkswood moving past Glen Inkster for 10th.
So for those all-important Day 2 bonus points, it's Paddon, with a modest margin by comparison over Stokes, Hunt, Horan and Pettigrew. And the overall standings, still Paddon from Hunt, Pettigrew now up to 3rd, just ahead of Marston, with Horan closing in fast.
The afternoon stages were repeats of the morning. Robbie Stokes looked to have Day 2 points secured for 2nd place, but disaster on the final stage start.
Something's certainly not happy there. You hear them shut the car down, do a complete power reset on it. But as we go on board with Brian Green, you can see that unfortunately their day is over just a little bit early.
So the main interest for the afternoon was now the overall rally standings. Paddon with enough of a lead now that he could afford to lose time with a puncture.
Yeah, effectively this is the rallying equivalent of being a whole pit stop ahead in a Formula 1 race.
Keep right, tuck back 6 left. Hook right, 200. Black crest, brake.
Oh, he's not backing off.
Turn tuck, slow, half to right. Black crest, 180. Out left of a small crest, tightens, very slight 6+ over bridge, maybe.
Ed Hunt looked to be heading for another 2nd place.
And for Ben and that whole team at Skoda New Zealand, that's pretty close to a dream debut. 2 2nd places from 2 rallies.
Ari Pettigrew had moved into the 3rd position on the final stage of the morning. All going well, this could be his first podium in the top category. But Josh Marston was suffering with a problem which would not be diagnosed until after the rally.
Yeah, it turns out a nutted shed off the rear hub, and the wheel was locking up when not under load. It was effectively like having the handbrake on one wheel every time he was trying to slow the car.
Marston's problems saw him slip from 3rd to 5th. Rana Horan was able to pass him to 4th, but could not get past Pettigrew over the final stages. Matt Summerfield held 6th through the afternoon. Phil Campbell held off a challenge from Jack Hawkswood and stayed in 7th. Hawkswood just holding off a hard-charging Matt Jensen to keep 8th by less than 10 seconds. Jensen obviously has the pace now to start challenging the top 5.
Keep the pace. 4 left plus. Last 6 right plus. 120. Try. Good work, bro. Good work. We've had a good day, haven't we? It's been a good day. Well done, good mate. Weekend. Good weekend.
Kingsley Jones disappointed with 10th place after his strong start, but he had kept the car going and the early pace was encouraging. Likewise, Glenn Inkster's challenge had been blunted by the crash in stage 3, but day 2 pace was encouraging. Brian Green, our final finisher.
It's great to see Greenie at the finish. This is the first rally he's managed to get to the end in this car. It's been a challenging road, and it's a fantastic rocket ship. Greenie will only get more and more comfortable with miles.
But what a performance from Hayden Paddon, another Rally Whangarei win, and showing that on the New Zealand stages, he is still the man to beat.
And as much as 2022 is about defending his championship in New Zealand, it's also about a WRC2 campaign that takes in rallies in Estonia and Finland, as well as a couple of other European events, and of course Retco Rally New Zealand. If Hayden can keep up this form, those guys have got something to worry about.
Fast half 3. High, long, flat, 4 right plus nips, 10. High slide 4 left. Flat right, 120. Flat half 6 right, opens long, 100 over finish.
Awesome.
Finish is actually up in there.
Thank you very much.
That's Rally Whangarei win number 8.
That's more like it. Nice clean weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way it should be every time.
Well, these little things will always happen.
Grandad was helping us, you see.
Yeah, exactly. Looking over your shoulder.
Old Bruce.
He's there in the back seat. Did it for him.
So confirming those day 2 results, Hayden Paddon takes the 5 bonus points ahead of Hunt, Horan, Pettigrew and Summerfield. But looking at those all-important overall results, Paddon again leading Hunt. Harry Pettigrew takes his first podium finish in the 4-wheel drive class, just ahead of Rana Horan, and Josh Marston hung on for 5th.
For the 8th time, your winners of the International Rally of Whangarei, led by Mark Cromie Motor Group, and somewhat appropriate, it is the Hyundai i20 of Hayden Paddon and John Kennard.
Yeah, awesome weekend. We definitely ticked a lot of boxes this weekend and everything felt good. Definitely, I think, a more polished performance as a team than what we had in the Targo. Yeah, just ecstatic for the team, and obviously 1-2 with Ari, 1-3, sorry, with Ari. Awesome weekend, and yeah, definitely felt very good for both John and I in the car. We probably take it for granted that how different these events are compared to the normal sort of sprint Nzrc rounds we do. You know, just the whole morning afternoon loops, even though they're the same stages, very different conditions, how you manage your tyres, how you manage your strategy. It's all stuff that's a lot more, I guess, closer to what we used to overseas, so it's good to get back in that rhythm again.
Ben, obviously a challenging day yesterday, but a good result today, and overall pretty pleased, I imagine.
Yeah, yesterday was actually a pretty good day. It's probably got a little bit flustered. Josh had a bit of pressure on me, and I cracked and went through tape and probably lost 13 or 14 seconds, and then trying to claw back that time and got a puncher. But overall it was an awesome day yesterday and a good rally. So really happy with how the car goes. We made a few improvements at lunchtime today, and it's awesome.
It's been a fantastic weekend for us. We've really enjoyed being back behind the wheel of the Barina, and we've been learning stage by stage and getting more confident in the car and what you can do with these amazing machines. So really enjoyed the weekend.
Let the games begin.
Next up, it's back south to Timaru for Rally South Canterbury, the first at the single-day events in the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. Based in Timaru, this event takes on stages to the north and south of the South Canterbury city. This year's route provides plenty of opportunities for spectators, with cars leaving Waimarie at 8 a.m. on Saturday, 18th of June.
You can start your spectating journey at Stage 1 Elephant Hill before heading to Stage 3 mid-stage. Then on to Stage 5, which is to the west of Timaru, which has 6 awesome spots to choose from. Stage 6 has good spectating at Mona Vale, and you can catch a second service park at the township of Cave. If you go to Stage 7 and spectate at Spur Road, there'll still be plenty of time to return to Levels Raceway for the final spectacular special stage and prize giving.
You can get stage updates on the New Zealand Rally Championship Facebook page from the live stream team as well. And we'll have full coverage here on CRC Motorsport starting on July 10.
We've had a good day, haven't we? Fucking good day. Well done. Good weekend.